Good morning. Welcome to Living in Two Worlds. Got another surprise for you today. Come along. We got sod. Lots of sod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's one down below. Sod driver showed up, drove over the septic, got stuck. So I forget it, leave the rest up here and we can deal with it from there. Picked up the rolls, they're fairly dry, so they're not that heavy. So gonna set up the camera, we're gonna start work on it, and we're gonna finally bring this yard through to some sort of completion. So we'll take a quick peek down around the back here. As you can see where he dug himself in here, shouldn't be too hard to sort back out. So this being the biggest area, this is what we'll do first. Got my workers here, all ready to go. Okay, a quick update as to where we're at. All of our sod is gone. Well, it's not gone. It's all been laid in throughout the yard. We'll start here in the front corner. You may wonder why this little bit here is not sodded. And the reason for that is that the contractor will be coming back, and we are getting the driveway widened to that point. So we didn't put any sod there. Sod down the hill here, as we seem to have some extra. Noon wanted to look after this corner, so we ran it out partially out onto the township property, much the same as the neighbor did over there. Did it along the top here and around her rock garden. If you notice by looking at the sod, you will see what appears to be some dead pieces. Well, they're not really dead, but what happened was that it took us 5 days in total from the day the sod was delivered till we completed it. And I discovered after, or was told after, that it should be done in 2 days. And these ones you see at the top were towards the end, and as we were taking them off the pallet, they were very warm. Actually, they were very hot. They were starting to sort of ferment or compost already, or like I say, they were making wine, so we were making sod wine. So anyway, they will come back. They're just going to take some water and stuff. They will come back and be fine. Down this side, we're going to do we've got some trees planted to try to cover up some of the ugly looking concrete there. And in order to finish that off, I went to town today and I've bought some border bricks. So here we've got a bunch of bricks here. We will use this to do down that side, as well as we're doing one planter on the bottom. So I'll come down here again, and as you can see, this is all sodded. Noon's Hill here, thought about sodding that, but decided no. We will fill that with flowers and wood chips in the spring. And down this way, as this was sodded earlier, it's looking in better shape. There's a few pieces down here that are a little bit on the rougher side, but if I actually look right in them here, you can see that they are still green underneath. There's still some green. They'll be just fine. Just need some extra attention. Back here is all looking nice now. Everything's sodded right through to the rock wall. This here is where we will be building the second planter right here, and this is right on top of our septic tank. That way we'll be able to hide the septic lid covers and just make it look a little nicer. Our patio, as you saw before, and then back up the back side here. Still have a little bit of work to do to finish the stairs down this back deck. And like I say, this was where we were getting near the end on the sod, so it's a little rough looking here, but we're not concerned. We believe it will come back just fine. This space that's been left here is 12 feet by 24 feet, and that is the size of the frame we bought on Marketplace. Found this frame here. It's actually of sort of a garage frame for a small garage to park a vehicle under. So got a good deal on that on Marketplace, so we bought it. We're going to set that up here, cover that with plastic, and this is where Noon's garden will sit. So left ourselves a small walkway there and back down here, and then what we had in extra leftover sod we laid down on this hillside here. This we're not real concerned about. This is more just to keep the weeds down than anything else, so we'll let that come back on its own sweet time. But either way, this is how we're looking now. A little bit of work left to do on this. Have the stairs to build here, a little bit of gravel to put underneath, and everything down here is looking beautiful already. So like I say, we will get there. So I'm gonna actually, that's sort of as far as we got with the sod. I think what we'll do is tomorrow the plan is to work on these planters. So once we get those done, we'll give you another update, and then you can get a look at pretty much how the finish yard's gonna be. So we'll check in with you again after we get our planter built there and along this side here. So now that we've got all our sod down, and it's just September 21st, yeah, so mid-September still somewhat, and that meant that today was the day to go shopping. So I went shopping today, and the next big tragedy after putting sod down is you need stuff to look after it. So here we got all the Canadian Tire, we got a lawnmower, a weed whacker, and a blower. So maybe we'll see if we can take them out and see what it takes to put the lawnmower together. Okay, the lawnmower's all set up. Really not much to it, just attach the handle. Everything else was together. Didn't have to put on wheels or anything, they were already done. But get a good look at a nice shiny lawnmower, because there's a good chance it will never be this clean again. Can't start it up for you as it's got no oil in it and we've got no gas. So now I have to go buy a little bit of oil and a gas can. So in the meantime, let's unpackage our Mastercraft weed trimmer and blower. These ones are battery operated. So we'll unpack those and see what they look like. There you got it, my new yard tools. I have my leaf blower, my weed trimmer, edger. This is not a heavy duty one, it's a battery one designed for Canadian type yards, just edging, not for rough cutting long grass as they do in Thailand. And then again the lawnmower. So a good day of shopping at Canadian Tire today. That should make Jada and Mike happy. And we'll see how they work out. Give it a few days, let the grass grow a little more, and then give them a shot. In the meantime, I'll have to go get a gas can and a bit of gas and oil for the lawnmower. So, new tools, more money spent. But hopefully we're getting near the end and ready for just maintenance on the yard as opposed to building. Well, it's now been close to 2 weeks since we laid our sod. So, gonna actually mow it today, give it its first cutting, but I thought I'd give you a walk around first. And as you can see, we still have the damaged pieces, and that was mostly, I think I mentioned before, because we left them too long. They should have been laid sooner, but as you can see, they're starting to fill in, and I believe they will completely fill in with time. If not, it can be rectified with a little bit of grass seed. But as you can see, it was mostly just the last pallet really where we had the issue. Down here the grass is quite long, looking very nice. The seams are filling in. Here's an example of one that was in rougher shape earlier. It's come back mostly. This one's come back very well. Few down here that we're still waiting for them to come back, but as you can see along the edge, it's coming back already. So this one's coming back in chunks. So very confident they will all come back. I'm not too concerned about it. The grass is looking good. It's nice and healthy looking. So we've had good weather for it. It's been cool, it's been wet. I think that's really helped it a lot. And as we come back up this way here, you'll see this is where the rest of that last pallet went as well. Have some damage back here, but there again, it should come back. The worst of it we actually put down here, but that was mostly because we had probably close to a full extra pallet. I am not going to mow down here. I have no plans to do that. I think we'll just let that grow, and I'll maybe go down there with a weed whacker a couple times a year and just keep it under control, feeling that that will give us a better look than the wild bush that you see on the rest of it. Back here, this is where Noon's garden will be, so there's no need for grass there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my new lawnmower ready. Went and got some gas, some oil for it. Got to get it set up. I'm going to bring it out and I'm going to cut the grass. Okay, we got the new lawnmower all ready. Got oil put in it, got it all gassed up, ready to go. So gonna set things up and see how it works out. Got the mowing all done. She went pretty good, not too long. It was very long in the back corner there, back here, but it's looking quite nice now. As I mentioned before, it's still got the few spots here, but I'm not worried about them, they'll come back. So now I gotta go find my new trusty weed whacker and clean up these edges. Try to clean up the little bit of long grass around by the rocks. See how that works out along my couple planters. So see if we can go find that. A few hills and things it can take a while to figure out the best way to do this, but we're getting there. Here's my new trusty weed whacker. So I'm gonna start to fire this baby up and take it down there and trim around the edges. Then we'll give you a look when that's all done. Okay, finished the tidying around the edge with the weed whacker. It's nice and tidy there. It's all looking pretty sharp. Cleaned off the patio here, dried my new blower, blew away all the grass clippings. Looking sharp. So I'm very happy. So gonna end this video here. The whatever we're going to call it here. We'll end this video here, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe and give us a like if you like how our yard turned out, and we welcome any comments or questions. And with that, we'll leave it there and catch you on the next video.